final question. Is bodybuilding a sport? All right, so we're here. We're going to react to some bodybuilding today.
It's been a while since I've watched some of these videos.
We didn't want to skimp on the guests, so we brought in the king of board shorts, Mr.
like
Steve
that.
Cook, which is a cool opportunity. So thanks for being here.
No problem.
It's good to have you. And what actually, we'll get into it in the podcast, but we'll react to these videos first.
Okay, let's do it.
We've got a bit of a lineup. We got classic physique in the beginning.
Classic physique guys. A lot of these dudes are just amazing physiques. I think the nice thing about this is you see the legs. In the area I competed in, legs are arguably my best body part. So you got C-Bum, and then you got the guy from Brazil there. He's got a crazy physique.
C-Bum is the short guy, right?
No, C-Bum's the guy on the right there.
Yeah.
And,
did you have to do that where you?
No. So in men's physique, there's zero posing. So this is kind of like, this is supposed to be like your 60s, 70s bodybuilders. They should have, this was as big as they got essentially. And so now, like this guy, what's his name? Is it Ramon? I'm not quite sure what his name is. Number 16 there. He's got really good muscle bellies. You look how round he is. And then obviously, all these guys, just freaky genetics up there. The bicep peak on 2 there is just amazing. But it's crazy because, when I competed, I was told I was too big that first year, and then they got bigger and bigger.
First year, you got told too big.
Yeah, well, I was told hey, it's men's physiques. You might be too big. Now, you look at these guys, and obviously it's a different category, but these guys are really just bodybuilders, like classic physique. They're massive. These guys in the off season would be, C-Bum. I know in the off season's got to be 125 kg or 120 kg.
Dude, I saw him getting into an ice bath the other day on his page. And you realize, because when they're so lean up here.
That's Chris there, yeah?
Yes. Yep.
Well, the thing is, they're so lean up here, they look kind of normal.
Yep.
Right? Standing next to each other in terms of size. But then you see them when they've swollen up.
Yeah.
Dude, they
totally different. Totally different physiques.
They'd be bigger than the biggest bodybuilder in your gym.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
They're
for sure.
These guys are going to be
huge. What do you mean?
240, 250, 260 pounds easy in the off season.
They're the biggest guys in the locker room.
But you see them doing their poses, and you're just looking at, the judges would be looking for just the classic symmetry. So one side matches the other, the level of leanness, the conditioning is what it'd be called, and just overall presentation too. And I think it's just all these guys are just freaky. I think when you look at it, this classic physique is supposed to be about aesthetics, and I think obviously all of them have that. But C-Bum, I think, is again, when he's dieted down, I think he has the best physique there on the planet.
But what's crazy, Steve, I don't understand is okay, he steps on stage with Arnold, right?
Yep.
And they stand next to each other. Both look really aesthetic. Both look really good. But why does he blow up to look like a freak outside of the off season, but Arnold didn't? What's the main difference there? Is it the drugs, or what do you think?
Maybe well, to be honest, in order to gain size, in order to be that level, you can't be that lean year round. Now, CrossFitters, we see them stay relatively lean year round, but these guys, they're trying to add size in certain areas.
Right.
It's really hard to gain size in certain areas without gaining overall body fat as well. Right. So, but your body too, when you get to this level of leanness, that pendulum swings, and your body wants to bounce back afterwards. So, these guys at 4% on stage, number 2 in the off season, he actually stays fairly lean. But these guys in the off season, they're trying to bulk and put on some size, but it's just, it's really hard to stay trim and lean year round.
Yeah, but I feel why do I feel when I always saw Arnold in the off season? Is that because he never got as lean?
I think that's part of it. He never got as lean, but also
took the crazy cutting shit that these guys took, right?
I don't think there was as many diuretics around back then, but I think also they had a kind of a different train of thought. It was almost they ate more when they were training. In the off season, Arnold, he probably didn't take the stuff that he took during contest time, but he upped his training regimen during the contest. He actually, a lot of these guys ate more into a contest back in the day, and their training got more intense.
Wow, okay.
Whereas here, it's all about, the level of conditioning is just so different.
Sounds like way more fun. Train more, eat more.
Yeah.
You got it all wrong, guys.
and don't get me wrong, and I think it was also one of those things that it was just... it was some bodybuilders back then also gained a decent amount of weight, but it was really looked at as like you're getting sloppy if you're putting on that much
in the off season.
Yeah.
I think that was that. Can we look like this year round sort of thing?
Yeah.
Not like for this very narrow moment on stage. So it's less of a swing.
And I do think it's like, there's some a lot of these guys too are really strong guys in the off season, and when you're putting on strength and stuff, it's nice to be at that caloric surplus as well.
Kind of tight. Let's look at men's physique. Let's look at 2020.
Why do the main bodybuilders not do the stomach
physique.
vacuum?
Yeah, the board shorts.
And
the classic guys? Yeah, that's a good.
They do the
the classic guys do the stomach vacuum.
Yeah.
It's a classic pose.
Yep.
It's Frank Zane, Steve Reeves, all those guys had crazy stomach vacuums. The big guys don't, because a lot of times they have that distended belly that we see. And people talk about, is it growth hormone, is it insulin? But just they don't practice it too.
Yeah.
Like that, it's not an easy thing.
It's like
to
falling
do.
away.
It is like, but there's been that resurgence with classic physique and even some men's physique. Now the crazy thing about men's physique is they don't have a weight category. These dudes,
they're uncapped.
They're not capped, whereas classic physique is, and that's always been my biggest issue, is some of these dudes are bigger
that's what I'm saying,
than the classic dudes, but have no legs. So if some of these dudes had the legs that the classic guys had, they wouldn't make weight in their classic category.
They got no legs.
So like some of them do. I'm not saying all of them, but some of these guys just don't train legs because
that's crazy. How can you be that into training and like completely neglect the body?
Well, I think it's relative, bro. Some of these guys be popping out of the board.
Yeah, but like
it's relative to massive upper bodies.
Yes, but like you see the guy in the black and red shorts there does not have big legs. The guy in the blue shorts here does not have big legs.
That's true.
You can just see walking in his shorts. It looks like
it looks
medium.
It looks like someone stood up a frog and put pants on him.
I would have thought with all the drug taking, you would still get legs.
I think ultimately it's still genetics, and it's still like not everything just grows like crazy. But Brandon, 33, look at that! Like all these guys are crazy, amazing physiques. But again, you throw them on a classic stage, and if they do, and he does, 33 does have a good set of legs.
Yeah.
I don't know if he makes weight in his classic division, which is all based off of your height. I don't know for certain, but he's got the back. He's got everything that, when you look at a classic physique guy, and that's my thing. It has been that way since I competed. They need to put a cap on this. They need to put, basically height to weight.
How much do they weigh? How much does Brandon weigh?
I'm not quite sure, but in the off season, he's I'm sure he's 225. But he's fairly short, so he might not be. These guys have great muscle bellies as well. Just a lot of them look bigger than they are, just because they're big in the right places. But Brandon on stage, I'd be surprised if he's got to be right around 195 to 200 on stage.
What do you mean big in the right places? You mean like big chest, big shoulders?
Yeah, big chest, big
chest. Makes you look bigger, right?
Exactly. You're super capped in your delts. Your arms, you have your muscle bellies are nice and full.
But like small glutes.
Well, small midsections. So
he said 185 to 195.
Is he?
Oh, okay. Yeah, so he's not that heavy on stage.
And I don't know how tall he is. What is he? 5'8"?
He's 5'8". On the ball.
So again, that's still a pretty big boy, because in the off season he's gonna be about 215.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's almost like their lower lats aren't as big as the other guys. Like the erectors. Look how small that guy's waist is, number 18.
And that's the thing about classic physiques. You're gonna get some. Is that Andre Deo?
Yeah. Huge arms.
He's got just a great physique. I really like his. But again, like, and even the guy on the end there, all these guys, and that's the thing about men's physique, is they love that nice tight little waist.
So do you just like not train abs for that? Is that how you get that?
No,
or
you still train abs. You wouldn't be doing a lot of side crunches or oblique stuff.
Right.
The biggest difference is you look at a CrossFitter's midsection and these guys' midsection. You get that turtle shell belly, because I would say this is a lot of no weight, just body weight crunches and things like that. Broomstick twists.
Stuff,
You're not going to catch these guys grabbing a dumbbell and doing a side the side oblique raise or anything like that.
Do they leave out like heavy front squats, heavy back squats to not get thick?
Well, I don't know how many of these guys really need to do heavy back squats or front squats because they're not showing legs. I mean, some obviously train legs still hard, but I wouldn't say it's it's not like they're out there trying to get up to a 600-pound back squat.
Man, I don't know. It's an interesting world. getting into that sort of stuff.
Yeah, and the tough thing is it's so subjective. It's all about what a judge likes visually and what they think is a good representation of the sport. So I competed against Andre here, and crazy muscle bellies. Like one of the guy, and he actually has kind of the turtle shell abs, just genetically really gifted. And he's pretty lean year round. It doesn't look like he came in quite as crisp for this as he might have, but the tan comes into play, and it doesn't matter if you're black, white, Asian. Everyone puts on the same kind of tan as well.
Yeah.
And then the oil and stuff, and so it's all about the lighting too. It's like you can get up there, and if the lighting doesn't look right with your skin, it's like I've been on stages that have really good lighting. This stage doesn't look like it actually has great lighting for guys that are really, really dark.
Yeah, 2021.
This guy's got just crazy chest. I'm not sure who he is, but and look at that waist. He looks like he's got OB genetics.
Dude, these guys, this is the cream of the crop genetics. The crazy part is, young kids look at these guys and they think, all right, I'll just work really hard and I'll get there.
Yep.
It's like, bro, you just don't have the genetics.
Well, that's true for Obi.
Yeah, well, and that is, it's like kids look at, Olympic sprinters. Usain Bolt. How many people want to, after they saw Usain Bolt, thought, I want to get into the 100-yard dash.
It's just a normal human reaction, right?
Right. You see something but I could work harder than anyone in the world for the rest of my life, starting as a little kid, and never be Usain Bolt fast.
Yeah. And he could never train a day in his life and still be.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so I think that, and we have that. I believe that, there's obviously sports when you reach that level, it's talent, extremely gifted genetics, and then plus hard work as well.
All right. Well, I think we've commented enough. Before we leave this react, final question: is bodybuilding a sport? Steve
No.
Oh,
bodybuilding is an art. It's not a sport. Anything that cannot be objectively. Anything that cannot be objectively defined, to me, is not a sport. In order to be a sport, it has to be objectively
Steve Cook's
defined.
he's welcome as the third co-host in the future after that comment. Even though we fell out over Jordan LeBron, it's forgiven now that we agree on bodybuilding.
And I'll convince you by the end on that too. So.
All right, that's the react. Thanks for watching.